Francis here from E-MTB Review, and I have a very compelling e-bike released just today from Aventon. There are 10 things about this bike that are just kind of mind-blowing. This is E-MTB Review, and we're new. We're only 1 year old, 1 year anniversary. This time last year is when I started this channel, getting close to 10,000 subscribers. And we're not really making money or any of that, not really tied to any manufacturer. But if you want to support us, just click on the link in the description. We'll get a small commission if you want to purchase this bike. Number one is it's a full e-bike hardtail, and the price is $2,699, and that is a big deal. Aventon, I've done maybe 8 reviews on their bikes, and they are no slouch. They are based in Southern California, full staff there, and man, they've perfected, consumer direct, and that's how they've been able to offer such value. But that's not all. There's a lot of cheaper bikes out there, but listen to the other 9 elements. And by the way, I'm going to give you a lot of weaknesses of this bike as well. I'm going to take it out for a ride and really test this motor, so you won't want to miss that. Number 2 compelling thing about this bike is it has a proprietary motor, mid-drive motor with 100 Newton meters of torque. 250 watts of nominal power just to get under the law, but the peak power is 750 watts. It is just mind-blowing. And luckily, I'm the person to test this because I have, repeatable controlled testing. I'm gonna go to the hill right after this video. And here is our famous E-MTB review controlled test. 500 feet of climbing in 1 mile. In full turbo, what we do is we control the rider output by setting it at 200 watts average using calibrated power meter pedals. This way, we are able to compare all bikes on turbo mode on a level playing field. And at the end, we look at the stopwatch. But first, I'll let you hear the motor. 229 watts. And over here it's flat. That's the noise of the Aventon motor, very similar to the Shimano EP8 and Specialized Levo. A lot of the noise is coming from the ground and from the shifting, as you can see. And now we are going to look at the result of the hill climb. It is 4 minutes and 13 seconds for a mile and 528 feet of climbing. This is pretty darn incredible. Kind of meaningless, but here is the context. It is in first place. It is beating the Bosch CX Race motor at 434, a Bafang motor 442, another Bosch, and the Specialized Levo, most important of all, 448. There's also a Shimano EP8 here, 525. So quite a bit slower. So this is apples to apples comparison of the speed of these motors. 4 minutes and 13 seconds is what it did, and battery is now 79%. Number 3 item that is compelling is it has a 700 watt-hour battery. 700 is huge, especially for something like a hardtail that's fairly efficient. And they're using high quality cells. They have a 4 amp charger. That means full charging from 4 to 5 hours instead of overnight. So, and it's hidden in there with a protective cover right here. All right, number 4 is it has components of a real mountain bike. For under 3 grand, you usually get some Dior, some Santur and whatnot. But this is all industry standard NX. And NX, I profess because, when you have an e-bike that's already heavy, no need to get XO or XTR or whatnot. Just get the NX, the beefier stuff. And this is NX derailleur, 12-speed, 10 to 50 or 11 to 50, I believe, is the cassette. Really good derailleur. So all the beefy stuff that's needed. They have a dropper post from KS, and they have a RockShox suspension, 35 millimeter coil, not the light one, but it's a heavy, beefy one for the job. Probably the most mind-blowing thing about the spec is the brakes. Most of these bikes at this level, or even 4 grand, have Tektro brakes. Nothing wrong with them, but they're not quite, used for high-end mountain biking. And these are SRAM DB8 brakes. If you don't know DB8, it is the new from SRAM. This is the future, and the feel on them is so good. All right, the fifth element is it's in the details. So they have lights, it's a kind of an Aventon trademark. The taillights are integrated in here, and they don't turn on unless you want them to. So you're not gonna annoy your mountain biking friends, out there. But you can't turn it on, with your switch or with an app. And they have a headlight that's really cool. It's not installed. You unpackage it, and you can install it yourself if it's something you want. But it's a nice light. The other thing is they have a kickstand. A kickstand, you can use this for commuting, if or multi-purpose mountain biking and commuting. And if that's what you want, they have it, and they have a perfect spot for it, which is right near the rotor, so it doesn't get in the way of your cranks. And with these details, these are heavy duty stuff. It's all pre-wired, but you'll see they even put a cap on the wire in case you're not using it. So very detailed little things. The charging port is so cool. Next feature you should know about is it has wide 29er rims. So 29er, when you have a hardtail, you really do need 29er, the extra cushioning of a big tire. You can even put a 27 and maybe a plus tire like a 2.8, but super wide rim right here, not tubeless unfortunately, but I'm gonna try it. And they have a Recon tire. The Recon tire looks like 2.6, but it's a 2.4. But the rim is so wide, it just kind of balloons it up. Next element you should know about is the touch points. The touch points are cool. The saddle is pretty cool. It's not too long, not too cushiony, so ideal for mountain biking, so it doesn't get in the way. But they expect you to wear chamois shorts, but if you don't, I think you'll be okay. It's more cushion than normal mountain bikes. The grips are nice, lock on, and a lot of contact points. 760 bars, which is really cool because that's kind of what most people use. And what kind of shocked me from the get-go is a 40mm stem. No, not even the most advanced companies right now are shipping 40mm stems stock. So the geometry is fairly conservative. It had like a 430 reach for a medium, so I went for a large so I can get my 455 reach. It's a big bike, but with the stem and pushing the saddle forward, it fits me pretty well. But it is a fairly big bike. All right, next detail that you should know about is the app is very good. It's tunable. They've been doing apps for all their commuter bikes for a long time, and I said, they just put it in here. You could do your ride logging, a little social media stuff. But what's really kind of compelling is they allow you to tune the motor. Eco, Trail, Boost are the modes of this, and you can tune them individually with 2 or 3 parameters. So quite impressive, and it's easy to program. Next compelling thing, maybe number 9 I'm at now, is the appearance. The appearance is cool. Low top tube, swoopy lines, everything is dialed, and the paint is pretty amazing. I think it's a 2-tone paint where it changes color, and all the options have that. It's very metallic, so it's kind of like chameleon. It changes color as your light changes. They even have this hidden cabling, which is in the stem, and I think that's just to clean up the cockpit, but they give you, kind of that feature. The last thing I'll tell you about is the packaging. They're consumer direct, so you expect them to be experienced in this, but man, I've never seen a bike packaged this way, and I get a lot of bikes. I just got 5 this week, and I'm like, wow, Aventon, they were good 2 years ago, but now they're like bleeding edge in the packaging, meaning you unlock the box, you dismantle the box, and you just lift the cover. The bike is sitting right there. So the other thing is you have a scan code. If you need instructions on step-by-step on how to assemble this bike, right there. They have elaborate videos, so many videos on their other bikes and on this bike already. And then the support. The support is key when you have a consumer direct bike, especially an e-bike. And they have, they'll answer your email, they answer your phone call. They're just kind of ahead of the game here. The weaknesses, I would say, is it's a heavy bike. 56 pounds for this large one. They didn't prioritize on weight. So for a hardtail, that's a pretty heavy weight. Another disadvantage is the fork. It's a coil fork, but there's no knobs on it, meaning it's coil, it's got its damping, but you can't kind of give it more compression. You can't lock it out. So if you don't match the spring rate, if your weight is not ideal to this coil, maybe this is probably for a 160-pound rider, 170-pound, then you don't have a lot of tunability with this fork. All right, another disadvantage is I'm hearing a lot of rattles. Rattles from the motor. It's kind of like Shimano, the first generation EP8. You know, when you're descending and coasting, I mean, I'm hearing some of that. So with these conditions, and finally, a disadvantage, this is just kind of a global thing, is it's a hardtail. And an e-bike hardtail, mountain bike e-bike hardtail is not the easiest to live with. So if you're in the decision point of whether you should do this or get a full suspension, you know, 90% of the folks out there doing real trails are on full suspension. It's just the new generation. I have 4 now of e-bike, mountain e-bike hardtails, and they're not easy to ride because you have a lot of weight in the back and it's unsprung. So it's slamming on the ground. Even though you're good on your normal bike on a hardtail, you can't kind of float, you can't kind of jump. Today I'm kind of trying to jump, having a hard time. So you know, it's something you really want to see if you can handle. You know, if if you have a bad back, or if you've been riding full suspension, not so easy to ride on tougher trails. All right, so I'm gonna go out for a ride. I'm gonna test this, but so far the two things that stand out to me, aside from it looking good and everything's upgradable, everything's a mountain bike part, is the $26.99. $26.99 is insane. And you know, knowing Aventon, they'll have sales and coupon codes here and there. The other thing is the motor. The motor is insane. 100 Newton meters. And before I even do my testing, I'm telling you, this thing is legit. I've never felt a motor like this. I have had not even the Levo, not even the Bosch can compare to this. There's a Bafang that's super strong right now, but this thing, wow, when you're on turbo, it is strong. So for the price that you're getting it at, pretty incredible. All right, so there you go. Thanks a ton. We earn money through affiliate relationships, so support us this way. But I would say just spread the word, you know, comment, and really interact with our other users. All right, thanks a ton, everybody.